I've got a question for Sheriff Mike Scott, the Lee County Sheriff in charge of this investigation. Sheriff, could you tell us about the flights? We know that Dr. Teresa Severs, her husband, and two little girls go to a family get-together, I think in Connecticut, and Dr. Severs comes home early Sunday night. I'm trying to figure this out. Was that the plan all along, that she leave her husband and children with her female relatives, or did they decide that on the fly? Can you tell from the airplane reservations?
Dr. Severs returned early with the intention of opening up her practice. She had to come back ahead of the family, and that was basically the plan.
That was the plan. Okay, so that was the plan all along. Why did the husband stay there with the two little girls, Sheriff?
Well, I don't think I'm really able to say with certainty why he stayed there, but I can tell you that, again, as our investigation unfolded, we continued to develop evidence that would lead us to, at least as I shared with you the other night, keeping him within an envelope of suspicion, as we would with any case. Again, family members, business associates, and otherwise.
Okay, with me, Sheriff Mike Scott, stating that the husband in this scenario is within the envelope of suspicion regarding his wife's death. But that's true in all homicide cases. You look at the family first. So who decided she would come back to her home alone on a Sunday night, that her husband wouldn't be there? Who knew she would be there alone? So are you trying to tell me, Robin Ficker, that these two, Wright and Rogers, drive 1,200 miles all the way to Dr. Severs' home, all right, and they just, whoops, happened to catch her there by herself? They had no idea she would be coming back on her own. Is that your scenario, Ficker?
She could have been coming back to have an affair. Maybe someone followed her from the airport.
Lord in heaven.
There are all sorts of possible people here.
Okay, I just want to clear that up right now. Ficker, I'm not going to let you get by with that one. Sheriff Scott, there's absolutely no evidence that this woman, a mother of two little girls, working her behind off all day long as a doctor, supporting the family, all right? There's no evidence she was having an affair that we have heard of. Is that true?
I'm not going to confirm or deny an affair. What I will say, as I've said all along, she was very much a victim, and our investigation leads us to say that nothing she did, brought this upon herself. She didn't put herself in a position of peril. Some people put themselves in higher risk situations where they're more likely to incur, injury or become a victim. That was not the case here. She simply returned home a little early in advance of the family because she had to open up and start to see patients. And that was her reason for being there. There was no other indication of anything else.
The sheriff tells us there's new twists and turns every single 24 hours. Sheriff Mike Scott with us, the Lee County Sheriff leading this investigation. Sheriff, question to you. What did they buy at Walmart? I understand that at least Rogers, if not Rogers and Wright, were spotted at Walmart just before the murders?
That's correct, but unfortunately I'm not able to share what they purchased. I will tell you with certainty we know what they purchased to the item, and it's, of course, of interest and it's directly germane to the case, but I can't specify what it was,
okay,
just simply because it would be
Were they there before or after the murder, Sheriff?
Before.
Okay, now I noticed you said they. Does that mean Wright and Rogers were there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And one last thing I wanted to ask you, Sheriff. Between Missouri and Bonita Springs, there are a lot of tolls. Do you think any of those had cameras?
I know that some have. I can tell you that we have been able to basically follow virtually their every move as this investigation unfolds and unfolds
wow.
from the beginning.
Wow.
So it's been of great help to us along the way, both digital footprints and otherwise. No stone will be unturned here.
You know what? Because I've got two children. They're 7 years old, Sheriff, and the thought of those girls being raised without their mother, that is not an easy thing. And one day these girls are going to grow up, and they're going to thank you for never stopping and working to find the truth about what happened to their mother.